Hello and welcome to my video. My name is Ray Erden, and I'm a senior level data analyst with about 25 years professional experience in this area in all things data analytics. My last contract was with Wells Fargo. It was a 24-month, actually started as 12-month contract, which was extended to another 12 months. And I completed that May 22nd, 2024. And today is July 2nd, 2024. And I decided to prepare this video as an extension of my resume, where I can delve into more specific aspects and dimensions of what I do, and to be able to better communicate what my resume is trying to communicate to the potential hiring manager. So allow me to briefly describe myself again. Overall, I've been working in this field, give and take 25 years, specifically dedicated to data analytics space. And along the way, I had a lot of titles, and I'm not really much kind of hung up on titles. Data analyst, business systems analyst, data quality analyst, business data quality analyst, business systems analyst, all those titles that I assume, depending on the role in organization and how they define their titles. But overall, the best description and to me, most practical and straightforward description is, to me, the data analyst is the best describer for my professional overall skills, background, education, experience, and all that combined. So what I want to do, like I said, the intended audience is being the potential hiring manager. I'm trying to basically communicate directly to his or her needs within his or her organization. That could be a reporting needs. That could be supporting, reporting-wise, supporting financials, financial analyses, performance analyses, or maybe operational analyses, or maybe some sort of marketing and sales analyses. It could be the operational data, which is not designed for analyses, but it was designed to kind of support the ongoing operations and transactions, whatever they may be, or accumulation and capturing and compiling the data sets withdrawn and pulled and queried from large databases, large data sets, and using these large data sets to serve reporting and analysis needs for any various kinds of purposes. Overall, I work with a lot of times I supported the financial executive teams, financial leadership teams, or product managers, sales managers, marketing managers. Most of the folks that I've been so far supporting have been those kinds of titles and folks within various different kind of organizations. I'm kind of industry agnostic. I'm not particularly in banking industry, or I'm not particularly in insurance industry. I did work in banking environment quite a bit, financial environments quite a bit, along with banking, health insurance, telecommunication companies, car rental company, food business, so or retail business. So all these different industries, one common obviously denominator has been always working with data. My resume, I'm not going to obviously go through that. I mean, you can see my resume. It's on my LinkedIn profile, and it's also on many of those job boards, and you can easily find as under Ray Erden. I do also have a rayerden.com, which will be kind of in an improvement process now, but I have it. You can also find my resume up there. So yeah. So basically, what is it that I believe that I bring value to the potential hiring manager? The value add is what I want to focus on. I'm not going to necessarily focus on my education. You can always find that again on my website or You can type in and you can see that. So I'm going to skip that, the education part, and I will just delve into, instead of going to kind of chronologically what I did, I want to basically give you a short, brief description of what I think I can do, which can produce and generate value, for the solid value for the organization. And I might be using and referring to some of my past experiences from various different organizations and companies. Just like, during the interview settings, the typical approach to interviews are, I do understand, read the job description well. I understand exactly what they're trying to, do as much as I can from the job description. And then during the interview, the hiring manager kind of describes, a lot of times describes what they're doing, and then what kind of a person they need, what kind of a help they need from this person. And then, when they pass the word to me, when they pass the ball to me, when it's my turn to speak, I take notes, try to basically understand the most sensitive needs of that organization and of that hiring manager, and I start kind of bringing from my past experiences to kind of touch base to what they're trying to accomplish, and see, like, this is what I did in the past, and I believe it is a close match to be able to help you. I believe I can deliver. I believe I can help you with what you're trying to achieve in your organization or in your department. So this is going to be kind of a similar approach. So I will give from my past, maybe kind of some couple sample scenarios. Example, one of them was from BASF, that German chemical company, huge, the world famous global chemical company. And I did have actually 2-year FTE role there as an information specialist. And the company was the BASF parent company. Actually decided to sell the company that I was working at. That was a child company called Construction Chemicals, and they sold it. So basically, along with many other people, that was the end of my employment at that particular company organization. And what I did was I created a business intelligence tool to support directly salespeople who are working day-to-day basis, day in and day out, in the field, and trying to find new customers, new accounts, new companies to sell their construction chemicals materials. And they were primarily depending on the SAP system, and they were having a lot of problems, like sales managers, regional managers, or district managers. They were having a lot of problems to see their current situation and status and performance status, and they kept calling me. And I thought, this was absolutely not an effective and efficient, practical way of helping them and communicating. And I decided to build a system which they can use to access to network with their logins, and then access to that reporting system, business intelligence type of reporting system. And the system, the reporting was not static. I gave them an ability to pick and choose by any dimension, by any kind of, slicing and dicing. They can see their team's sales performance. So that's kind of one of the examples that I can give as far as what kind of a value add that I can offer to a company. Another example I'm going to give you, that would be from GMAC RFC. This company currently is defunct because of the 2008 mortgage crisis. Right after that, the company was totally gone. They changed their name and everything, and they came up with a new name. Right now they're operating in a business, operating with a name known LI Financials. And they're not doing anything similar to what they were doing. So during my time, again, it was also 2 years of FTE role, and again, very similar situation because of the 2008 mortgage crisis, and we were obviously being in the mortgage business. In the middle of it, I was one of the 5,000 people let go from there. My role, my responsibility, I was a performance analyst, and I was directly producing and generating reports performance reports, sales performance reports, or more like a portfolio performance reports, I'm sorry, to the leadership team. Excuse me, to the leadership team. And the company was actually not a traditional mortgage company. They were buying a lot of mortgages. I mean, a lot meaning tens of thousands of mortgages. And we had a pool of $65 billion that they were basically picking and choosing and kind of repackaging and then reselling in the secondary market and to make profit. And this business, during those years prior to that horrible, famous 2008 crisis. Actually, I was out of there end of 2007. They were making lots of money, and I was basically responsible with tracking the underlying mortgages of those asset-backed securities and report on those, the performance of those, to the leadership team. So obviously, after the mortgage crisis, after everything went down, when everybody started defaulting on their mortgages, the company had to shut down the business and simply pack and go. Pull the stakes up and pack and go. So that's what happened. So that was another example, and the reason why I'm using that example, I believe it's a good example as far as that's kind of displaying as a showcasing my capabilities, my experience level, because I was, like I said, I was dealing with a lot of different data sources. Those were like SQL Server databases or Oracle databases that I was building my staging my data sets. I was using three things: Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Access, and I think Business Crystal. Then I was using Crystal Reports and Business Objects for more like a kind of visualization aspects of reporting. But my actual data work, the actual deep dive, data work, I was using Excel and Access as my front-end tool to be able to deal with the back-end databases such as Oracle, and then prepared and set up my query sets, and they were directly updating the reports that people were using either in Excel or Access. I automated all those processes, and because in each month I was supposed to generate very detailed, very large, actually it was pretty thick reporting book that was being utilized the leadership team. And like I said again, the intent, the purpose of the tool was that how is it that the portfolio was doing as far as the risk management, the risk structure of it, the default likeliness, default situation status, and all those things that I was tracking. Where I had to use a lot of, obviously, needless to say, SQL querying, a lot of SQL scripting, a lot of Excel VBA, a lot of Access VBA, that time. That was the year 2006 and 7. So, I'm sorry, I think I said it wrong. I got the years confused. No, the years was 2005, 2006, I think. There you go. I was right. I'm sorry. Because after that, following the crisis, I set up at the end of the 2007. I was out of there, and I went to United Health Group, Optum Health Care Solutions. That time, it was Optum Health. Was known as Optum Health. Now it's Optum, and they reorganized Care Solutions. Now that's completely different organization. I also stayed there about close to 5 years as FTE, which I was also providing. I continued providing similar type of functionalities, which was supporting the leadership team. I was directly supporting the CFO and VP of Finance in Care Solutions, Optum Health, United Health Group, Optum Health Care Solutions. Those folks with business intelligence type of reporting, and we were covering everything, not only financials, but also all kinds of operational, such as nurse retention, such as utilization aspect of this, utilization rate of that, in addition to the typical financials. And the tools I was using there, we were using there was PeopleSoft and Oracle databases, Hyperion, which was later on purchased by Oracle. Now Hyperion is now part of Oracle, and Hyperion I was using primarily for to extract data sets, financial data sets from the system, using its own scripting query logic and language, bring it into, again, very similar fashion, into data sets where I can basically stage in my data sets in Access on the front end, and then dealing with them, analyzing them, interacting with Microsoft Excel to produce the reports and provide monthly reports to the financial leadership team or executive leadership team of Care Solutions. For the visualization aspects of it, I was using, in addition to Microsoft Excel and utilizing leverage and the various graphic capabilities of it, I was also using Tableau for better visualizations. So basically, these jobs and examples that I provided now from BASF, from GMAC, RFC, and also from United Health Group, Optum Health, Care Solutions. These three organizations, three different companies, but as you see, these functionalities that I try to describe have been my typical roles in those organizations. So those, I think, I'm going to give a couple more examples, probably from various contract work. For instance, like the last one, the most recent one, was with Wells Fargo, and I had a lot of different contracts so far at Wells Fargo. I finished one, and then the Wells Fargo policy is such that when you hit 24 months, you have to go. You cannot stay, and then you gotta be away for 6 months, what they call is a 6 months cool off period, before they call you, if they want to call me. In the past, I had, I think if I'm not mistaken, 6 different contract roles at Wells Fargo in a very similar situation. And they called me back, and I got called back, and had different, I assume, different roles, different departments. I did work in wealth management. I did work in data strategy, data governance, like business continuity aspects of it. My most recent was the customer remediation efforts, mortgage, Department of Wells Fargo Home Mortgage. Those were the ones that I can think of now out of those so many Wells Fargo contracts that I had. And for each one of them, again, just like one example I like to give is the most recent one, the customer remediation, that I was on a daily basis interacting with Teradata, large data sets, and SAS. We were using SAS programming or SAS to interact with the very large data sets housed on Teradata tables, and we were basically leveraging the powers of SAS system, which was running for instance, populating the very large tables a lot faster than if we were, for instance, using the query environment, its own native, the Teradata's native environment. It was making it possible to make those table populations, or kind of a migration of data sets from one table to another, things like that, a lot faster. So we were using Teradata, obviously SQL, and SAS, which we were running the SQL scripts also in SAS environment. This total, I think, so far overall, I try to kind of give 4 different examples, 4 different organizations and companies. And you can find on my resume, if you go back, you know, different examples, different types of industries, different types of organizations. Like I said, one of them is a car rental. The other one is a food, like General Mills. Car rental was a national car rental. You can find AT&T, telecommunications business, various different industry types. And because of that, I certainly believe being exposed to different industries, being exposed to different companies over the period of time that I've been working so far, which I said now 25 years, gave me a lot of edge. I had a lot of chance to be able to exposed to a lot of different environments, systems, different problem types, and working with different people. That's very important too. Everywhere you go, you're always working with people. Change, personalities change, interaction styles change, management styles change. It's not only systems change, it's not only the department names change, but all these things. And I realized that over my career, professional career of 25 years, that human aspect of it and abilities to interact with people, with all kinds of people, is very, very essential skill. And there is no way to improve that skill. There is no way to acquire that skill unless you delve into it. That's it. There is no other way of doing this. Unfortunately, there is no school, college degree, diploma, certification, license, whatever is available that teaches people how to do it. You either do it, learn it, or you cannot learn it. And I take pride in my own professional career that I came to believe that I consider myself relatively good as far as dealing with different kinds of management styles, different kinds of people, how to set priorities, prioritizations, how to deal with difficult moments and difficult people at times. It's not always easy, but once you put your best effort, a lot of times it is doable. So this is kind of pretty much describing my overall skill set and experience. And this is the kind of environment that I try to describe to you. That's the environment that I've been working in. Obviously, everybody has different needs. And my overall professional profile that I try to depict on my resume, and here with this video, trying to kind of expand upon it to be able to describe even better, can fit in certain roles much better than others. So the best way to describe myself is this. I'm not a 100% technical IT guy, or I'm not a 100% financial analyst, marketing analyst, business executive, product manager, or project manager. I did work heavily with the technical aspects of whatever I worked with so far. I did work with all kinds of databases, SQL, structured SQL scripting, and various kinds of different, packages, tools, from SAS. I just gave example to Teradata database, the Power BI, business objects, SAP systems, Alteryx. All those are the ones that I can think of now. We can find more on my resume, but that doesn't make me, in my opinion, that doesn't make me, for instance, 100% hardcore technical software engineer type of a guy. That's what I'm trying to communicate. I found my best niche. I found my best capabilities, and where I can produce the best value for the organization is in a position where I can communicate with both business side and technical side. A lot of times taking responsibilities on the technical side, or communicating with the technical teams in a fashion that they can understand best, that can be best communicated in the best possible manner. Why do I think that way? Because I can understand their language. And I also, in the meantime, I work extensively with business side, and I can understand their language as well and communicate that to the technical side. I know what you're going to say. This is a typical business analyst. May or may not be. It doesn't have to be. Those things, as you well know, are not that clear cut. There's a lot of overlapping sometimes between the titles. That's why I'm not really 100% solely hung up on titles. They can say business systems analyst, business analyst, gathering requirements and kind of documenting requirements in a way that technical teams can understand in the best possible way. But it may not be always like that. Sometimes you gotta roll up your sleeves and get in, kind of get your hands dirty, even though your title is business analyst. Or you can be more technical in title, but depending on the environment, you might end up, with interacting with business side a lot. For instance, one example I can think of is from Optum, not the one that I was working before. It was later years. That was a huge, very ambitious undertaking. That was actually a marketing type of undertaking, and I had to work a lot with data modelers, data architects, business architects, with those kinds of folks, and all kinds of subject matter experts to understand what it is that they're trying to do, what it is that they're trying to accomplish. And it is so easy to get lost in that environment with the terminology, with the structure, with what is it they're trying to achieve. So easy. So navigating that aspect of business and understanding, and then bringing them in a structure that can be clearly communicated. Because at the end of the day, I was responsible with giving the data migration logic to the ETL team. So what I was providing to the ETL team was their input. If it was wrong, their production was going to be wrong, because they were going to be writing the code according to what I was sending them. So it was that kind of sensitivity situation, and I was fully aware of that. And I was approaching my work with this kind of awareness. That's what I'm trying to establish here. That's what I'm trying to kind of communicate with the potential hiring manager, that this is where I produce, I generate, and I offer the value to the potential hiring company for that potential position. So I guess that's it for now. That's as much as I can say. I don't want to make it too long. I appreciate your time for taking your time and listening to me. And please contact me if you think there is a fair amount of match between what you have as far as a job that needs to be filled and done right. And if you feel there is enough, close enough, sufficient enough match based on what you heard, please contact me. I appreciate again your time. Take care.